Archibald felt fury rise in him as he looked at the beast that had just gravely wounded his ally. His large eyes darkened, and he took off at a sprint. Though he may be small and green, he had surprise and pure fury on his side, as he drove the rapier into the beast, avenging his party member with pride. With a proper dice roll, this scene could be entirely epic, with my goblin character in one of my favorite games, Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Francesca Hopkins, and I love to play Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons is one of my favorite role-playing games with its boundless creativity, rich community, and fantastic ability to teach life skills to its players. The creativity in Dungeons & Dragons is unmatched in my personal experience, with its endless opportunities for world building, story building, and character design. From a young age, I have always loved writing. I loved creating detailed characters and watching them interact in the worlds that I created or borrowed around them. In Dungeons & Dragons, I can do just that. There are official adventures, sure, but my favorite is when I can create a world of my own, or I can enter a world that I'd always longed to be a part of. For example, I can't wait for the day I can play a campaign set in the Avatar: Last Airbender universe. And although world building and story creation are fantastic, I would argue that character creation is one of the most creative and fun things to do within Dungeons & Dragons. The character art and detailed backstories are always my favorite, and as an artist, I really enjoy drawing my characters. Archibald, my raggedy, flamboyant goblin, was one of my favorite characters to design. The creativity found in Dungeons & Dragons is often shared within the intriguing community that makes up the game. The Dungeons & Dragons community fosters the creativity and shares it while being a place to find friends and connections. I've discovered an amazing community for myself in a group that I play with. I have made connections with people over our shared interests, starting with D&D. And before and after our gaming sessions now, we even sometimes talk about video games, or the new shows we're watching, or talk about difficulties with school or work. It's great to have that support system. And it is not a unique situation only to me. Many people find friends and community through D&D. And this is partially because of some of the amazing online resources. My own group plays online from all over the country and even the world. My group is full of diverse individuals who have come together to play a game together. And I think it's kind of beautiful. Being surrounded by diverse people and playing a game ultimately about teamwork and putting yourself in other people's shoes is a great way to hone and learn different life skills. Dungeons & Dragons is a fantastic teaching tool in many ways. At the core of the game is the need for collaboration, critical thinking, and being able to deal with the frustration of when things just don't go your way. In the game, players work together as their characters to achieve goals, and learning how to collaborate with unlike people is all part of the challenge. Together, you have to use your critical thinking skills to complete different goals and challenges that are thrown at you. This is one of my favorite aspects of the game. I love anything that allows me to use critical thinking skills and puzzles and work together with other people. It's fantastic. It is also a game of luck, when primarily everything is dependent on the roll of the die. You have to come to terms with the fact that not everything is going to go your way, and you have to deal with the frustration of things turning out a bit bad. You can either turn that into a new story, or you just have to devise a new plan. For some kids that I run a campaign for, they often struggle with this aspect. Frustration of the die just rolling bad over and over again, or having to work together can be rather difficult for some younger people. But I find it quite enjoyable to run a campaign for them with their younger perspective, and they always find a way to teach me something new with how they view it. With an unlucky dice roll, Archibald may trip on his way to the beast, or even find a way to so horribly fail he hurts himself or someone else. But with dice on his side, I know my little goblin can save the day. Despite Dungeons & Dragons still being rather new to my life, it is one of my favorite games, and I have fell in love with its creativity, community, and the way it challenges me to develop my skills. So may the luck of the die be on Archibald's side, and yours as well. Thank you.